more or less today. We're just going to play until we win the title.
Sometimes you're a fire, sometimes you're a ghost. Sometimes you can give me all the things that I love the most. Sometimes you're a queen, sometimes you're a curse, and sometimes a whole lot worse. Yeah, nobody's quite like you.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Blue Hale Worldwide here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well, and today we look to clinch the Brasileiro Serie A title in our last couple of games and book ourselves a place in a promotion playoff where we could find ourselves going up to the Premier League to be amongst the top 20 clubs in the world. So if you're looking forward to that in today's episode, then do remember to go on down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and enjoyed the content here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But we do start today's episode with the youth intake. Now, with it being not long at all until the end of the save, we won't spend as long on this as we usually would, but you can see again it's a very good youth intake for us. A 5-star potential player there and Daniel Klaassen. He's a right back, so good position to have some depth coming through at the club there. We've also got the player who apparently is the pick of them in Rory Noble. He is a striker, finishing not too great at the moment, but 4.5-star potential. Go down to a player with 4-star potential, John Carrington. He is a midfielder, so that will be a good boost to our midfield stocks. And then we've got a number of 3.5-star players and some 3-star players who this time around probably not likely to sign. But to be fair, this youth intake isn't going to have a massive impact on this save anyway with today's episode and tomorrow's, wrapping things up. But we've played quite a few games since we ended yesterday's episode, which if you missed, I'll leave a link to above my head in the top right corner. So we'll catch you guys up on how we got into this position where we can win the title in this episode. First up, we had a home game against Atletico Tucumán, and we had a pretty good performance here in front of our home fans. In the 6th minute was a goal kick here from the Atletico Tucumán goalkeeper, forced the Metro off the header up to Makoko, buries that in the bottom left corner, and we did get ourselves a 1-0 lead nice and early. And then just before the strike of halftime, Lyshosh puts the ball in. Makoko, good pass to Mecha and a lot of space, and he just gets that inside the far post to make it 2-0. That was the halftime score, and then fairly early in the second half, a free kick, Doyle Hayes finding the head of Sasha Jala, and we pick up a pretty comprehensive 3-0 win. It could have actually been by more that game because Johnny F. and Russell did miss a penalty at the 66-minute mark, but still won that game pretty comfortably. Didn't affect things too much, and another 3 points in the bank to keep first spot in the league. And off the back of that, we did face an away trip to Club America. It was still 0-0 at halftime in this game, but we made a few changes at halftime, and luckily for us, one of those had more or less an immediate impact. Wintle playing a ball over the top there for Ozzy Cisneros off the bench, and he gave us a 1-0 lead just after halftime. And then around the hour mark, Olasunde makes his way down the right. Makoko back to Russell, and that's a pretty nice finish from a pretty tight angle, even though Iverson and goal came in, ended up in no man's land there. It's fair to say. A bit of a shocker there from the Club America keeper, but we pick up a pretty solid 2-0 win. Another game that we really did dominate stat-wise. Potentially could have won that one by more, but results are all that matter at this time of the season, and that was another 3 points for us in the league. And off the back of that, we went home for a real topsy-turvy clash, this one against Racing Club. They did open the scoring here in the black around the 12-minute mark. Gary just on the edge of the box puts the ball in at the far post, and Castano just gets that beyond the hand of Unsane, who looked like he got a touch on it, and it was 1-0. But then a really nice free kick back from Busio, had a little bit of inside-outside swerve, and Makoko buries that to make it 1-1 at halftime. But early in the second half, Caceres gets another headed goal there for Racing Club to make it 2-1. But not long off the back of that, Johnny F. and Russell playing Makoko through, and we did have the scoreline back at all square 2-2 with less than a half hour to play. And then with 5 minutes to go, Ozzy Cisneros again off the bench just starts driving forward, plays the ball through Makoko. Good first touch, buries it in the bottom right corner. A hat trick for Yusufa Makoko to secure us another 3 points in the league. Racing Club can feel a bit hard done by there. We did have the higher XG, but stat-wise, it's a game they probably should have got the edge in. So a gritty win for us there against a plucky Racing Club. And off the back of that, we had another home game, this time against Valles. We had to make a few little rotation changes here, like some Makoko being rested for this game. So Reyes was starting up front for us, and unfortunately, Another game in which we made a little bit of a slow start. 3rd minute, Enrique puts the ball onto the mixer, receives it back out, but then Lovric from quite a fair way outside the box with a good finish into the bottom left corner, and it was 1-0 to Valiers early. But then with 10 minutes to go in the first half, Felix Metcher makes his way down the left-hand side of the box. Anthony Reyes sweeps that home nicely, and we do make it 1-1. There was a red card before this penalty to Johnny F. Russell, a big turning point. He makes it 2-1. And then late on, Makoko back for Wintle, his first shot blocked. The second one finds the back of the net, and we pick up another 3 points at home. 3-1 against Valley, as you can see. The red card to Ortega there at the 64-minute mark, and how the XG changed off the back of that. That was a big turning point, gave us some good momentum, and in the end, a good 3 points for us considering some of the players we did have to rest for that game. And another home game in our most recent match week, this time against Atletico Paranense. This time we got off to a decent start. Gazelle on the ball here at the 18-minute mark, up to Busio, Wintle, back to Gazelle, and a really nice strike. That'll be up there for one of the goals of the season. Not that we might look at those this season, but we did go 1-0 up reasonably early. Unfortunately, about 15 minutes later, they did get a goal back here. Atletico Paranense, Asano given too much space around the dot there on the box and was able to put that in the bottom right corner. But with 16 minutes to go, Sepp Vandenberg gets his head on the end of that free kick and gives us another 3 points. If we didn't win that game, it would have been very frustrating, especially as off the back of that, Rashid Gazelle did miss a penalty. But lucky for us, we just did enough with our chances. As I said, probably could have scored more goals in that one, but another 3 points, and that is all that matters at this stage of the season. So going into the first game of today's episode, which potentially might be the only game depending on what happens, we have a 5-point gap on Boca Juniors and 3 games in hand on them. You can see that Santos Laguna now are out of the title race, and that is because if we go to the fixtures the day before this game for us against River Plate, you can see that all the other teams have played. Boca Juniors drawing with Atletico Mineiro, which gives us the chance in this game against River Plate to secure the title if we can pick up a win. A draw isn't quite enough, and Santos Laguna losing 3-0 to Palmeiras. They are well and truly out of the fight now, so it's down to a 2-horse race between us and Boca Juniors, and that draw with Atletico Mineiro gives us the chance to try and wrap things up in the first game of today's episode, the toughest in this most recent stint since yesterday's episode against an 8th place River Plate away from home. So more or less today, we're just going to play until we win the title. It could be 1 game, could be 2, could be 3. Hopefully as few games as possible, because then we can manage our guys going into the promotion playoff, which I imagine is going to be a week after our last game in the league. So it'd be nice to give those guys a bit of a freshen up going into that game if they do need it. But we'll come back shortly from the El Monumental, run you guys through the team sheets and see if we can secure the Brasileiro Serie A title. And we do have TV coverage for this game. There is the River Plate team, a 4-2-3-1. Recent form a little bit iffy. They might be slightly on the improve, though. We're in great form. We've had to make a few changes. Gazelle's out injured, so Russell starts. Jones on the bench, and also Jala suspended, so Barreto gets a start. And DM, and it is Lucas Stevenson on the bench, our young English CDM. And there's the points table again. If we can get a win in this game, we will secure the title, albeit it will be a tough test here away at River Plate. And we're going to get shown the kickoff highlight immediately. Busio on the ball, and we do have possession early on. If we can make a good start in this game, that would be nice and ideal, although that's a poor ball over there from Felix Metcher, although a good retreating tackle there from Ryan Wintle. Barreto plays the ball out for Metcher again. He'll try and pump this one deep for Makoko. It's flicked on to Bodart and goal for River Plate, and he takes his time over this. A good start here, as I said, would be very nice, but hopefully we don't make a sloppy start, because we have been doing that a little bit in this most recent run of games. Good block shot there on the Herdegurf, I believe that was shot. It falls back out to Jean Lucas. That is the highlight, and after an initial little bit of play, it is still 0-0. 29 minutes gone here, and it is a throw-in to River Plate in the white with the red sash and black shorts, and that ball in the end does fall to Makoko. Nice ball up there for Felix Metcher. Now Makoko's going to be a little bit behind the play here, so we might not have an out-and-out striking option. Ball played in there for Busio Barreto, the Brazilian who we only bought in the most recent transfer window, and he could end up getting us the goal that sees us win the title. We only bought him in because we sold Halifa Ngongolo. And I did wonder about our finishing chances here as Makoko was a long way back when he got the ball back. Busio with a shot. It is blocked, forced to Barreto. His kind of a open half net there puts in the bottom right corner at the half-hour mark. We are 1-0 up. 39 minutes gone and we have a free kick. Mitchafar post Barretta hits the post with a header. A really good chance that I think if it was on target, the goalkeeper was beaten, but we are really dominating River Plate at the moment. As you can see by the stats, just shy of half time, albeit now they have a free kick themselves. So hopefully, haven't put the commentator's curse on here. Dela Cruz from a tight angle. His shot saved and then a blocked shot off the back of that. We get away with one late in the first half there, but we go into half time 1-0 up and we are pretty happy with how things are going. With the monitor Gianluca Busio in the second half as he is on a yellow card, but that late chance is all that River Plate have created, and we got that goal about halfway through the first half thanks to Braleto, the Brazilian. So if we can hold on to this lead, we will be winning the title in this game. Hopefully we can do that in the second half. 48 minutes gone here. It's an early throw-in to River Plate, albeit deep in their half as they look to play out from the back here. And Alvarez up to Pallavicino, back to Vigo. John Lucas plays the ball back. It's a short passing at the moment. Really good tackle here by Felix Metri. Tries to find Makoko. His shot's blocked. Wintle. Russell somehow misses the target. That was a great chance for us to hammer our advantage home. We do miss it, and it does remain 1-0. Okay, 62 minutes gone here. We're going to make our first substitution of the game. Johnny Effin Russell is down to a yellow heart, only playing okay on a 6.5 rating. So we're going to take him off and bring young Craig Jones on off the bench with Rashid Gazelle injured, as I said. In the pre-match, our first sub done, only a half hour away from lifting the league title. 68 minutes gone and we have a corner looking to seal this game. Makoko with the header. It's high and wide. Good chance there. Good ball from Busio. And off the back of that chance, we are going to make our second substitution here. Ryan Wintle, yellow heart, 6.6 rating. I think we could potentially try and improve in that area for these last 20 minutes. So he will be coming off and it will be Jake Doyle-Hayes to come on for him. Still 1-0 up with only 20 minutes left. Okay, 81 minutes gone here, more or less, and we're going to make our last substitution. Barreto, the goal scorer, could be a massive goal for us, that one, but he's down to a red heart, so Lucas Stevenson can come on for him. All of our subs done. River Plate still not threatening much, only that one shot in the game just before half time. And if that continues, we will be the champions, 1-0 up with 10 minutes to go. And we are about to enter injury time in this game. It hasn't been the most entertaining affair. We have really dominated things, really. Should have another goal on the score sheet, but River Plate have offered nothing, and we are the champions of Serie A in our third season here in this World Super League save. So that is 2 titles next to our name in 3 seasons, which is a very good record indeed. And that means that's going to be the only game of today's episode, lifting the title a little bit sooner than I expected, truth be told, with Boca Juniors slipping up on the day before this in-game, and we lift the title in front of River Plate's home fans, which is a little bit odd, but nonetheless a good feeling after we had a little bit of a rough start, not as rough as last year. That was the key. We bounced back a little bit sooner than we did at this time last season. Got Makoko in on loan a little bit earlier than last season as well. Played his first game for the club this year about a month earlier than he did last year, and I think that was a big difference maker as well. But a solid performance from us there. The hero is going to be Barreto with that goal. River Plate, as you can see stat-wise, really offered nothing, and we'll come back shortly, and I suppose before tomorrow's episode where we're going to be playing a promotion playoff, we'll see who that could potentially be against. So back in the inbox after that game, a fairly routine win, as I said. Probably should have won it by more in the end, but any win's a win at this stage of the season, especially when you can secure the title with 2 games to go, and that should be really ideal going into that promotion playoff, as we can give some of these regular starters a little bit of a freshen up if they need one over the next 2 weeks before we do go into that game. So we'll flick through the inbox items. You can see the teams who have won this before. Flamengo and Boca Juniors. Flamengo are up in the Premier League. Hopefully we can emulate those guys. We secure ourselves a playoff spot. Everyone's pretty happy. We enter the European Roll of Honor, which is nice. A couple of old players here at Sporting Kansas City very happy, as are the board. Our preseason odds 200 to 1. If we go to the season preview and have a look, this would have improved since the start of the season with Makoko coming in on loan, but we were still only expected to finish down in 17th. So a great season for us, backing up our third placing from last year, and otherwise a few more good things. The board jella, everyone very happy. But what we're going to do with no more games in today's episode is they don't really mean anything. We'll come back on Sunday for the promotion game and see if we can end this save on a massive high, getting up to the Premier League. What we will do is have a look at who is leading the other divisions in this World Super League save on our tier, more importantly, and see who we could be playing in that game, as I imagine there's still a few divisions yet to be decided, given that we have won our title with a few games in hand. So looking briefly at the Premier League, where we could be going next season, albeit we won't be playing it, Milan are on top and in a very good position to be taking that out. The only team who can catch them now is Manchester City. So our affiliate club, Liverpool, cannot go 3 in a row in the Premier League. It looks like Lille and Roma are probably going to get relegated, and there's a bit of a battle going on between Valencia and Flamengo and potentially Tottenham to see who else will be going down in the Premier League. But we make our way down to Super League 1 and see who we could be getting in the promotion playoff. In Sunday's episode, Porto have already sealed the Liga, so they are a potential opposition. Next up is the Bundesliga and Wolfsburg. They'll be a pretty tough test, I suspect, so hopefully we could avoid those guys whenever the draw for that playoff does take place. We go down to Serie A, and Olympiacos have won that. That's a fairly so-so looking league, truth be told, based on the teams who are up there. So if we manage to get Olympiacos, I think we'd be quite happy with that. So early favourite for teams that we get drawn in the promotion playoff, I'd have to say Olympiacos potentially. We go down to Ligue 1. This is still a bit of a tight battle. Sampdoria 3 points clear of Real Sociedad with 2 games left. Sampdoria definitely have the advantage there, but it is certainly not all she wrote. Sampdoria, another team who we could potentially beat, I think. So them or Olympiacos we're favouring at the moment. We keep going down. There's us, champions of the Brasileiro Serie A, and then down to the championship where Everton have a game in hand on Chelsea. So it's still a tight race there, but Chelsea on top. You'd expect them to be tough to beat in that league, and that would be the ideal opponent to avoid in the promotion playoff, given that Chelsea did start this save up in the Premier League but got relegated in that first season. So looking like we'll be getting one of Chelsea, Sampdoria, Olympiacos, Wolfsburg, or Porto in tomorrow's episode. As I said, out of those teams, probably favouring Olympiacos or Sampdoria, ideally Olympiacos, but we'll see what happens. They're all going to be good teams, though, if they've won the league below the top division. But that will do it for today's episode, sealing the league title with 2 games to go. And now it is a 1-game shoot-off to see if we can make our way up to the Premier League to end this save on a high. If you did enjoy today's episode, I know it was only the 1 game, but we got the job done. Then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and enjoy the series here on the channel, also make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well, especially with Football Manager 2022 coming out next week. It should be with the beta fairly early on in the week, or about midway through the week, I think, is when the first video for that is going to drop here on the channel. And until Sunday for the promotion playoff, thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
Sometimes you can